Good morning. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody's having a great week so far. I wanted to shoot a quick video about the housing bubble. I've had a couple people asking me, do I think that that's where we're at and what's going on now? And I'm sure everybody remembers what happened before in 06, 07. And I wanted to show a couple reasons about why I do not think that we are going to be in a crisis situation like we were then. So I have a couple slides to share.
This chart right here talks about median sale prices, actual versus appreciation. So back in 5, 6, 7, we had sale prices much higher than appreciation. And back in looking at 2020, we had the same kind of scenario starting, which is why people would think back to 6, 7, and are we going to repeat those same things again? But the situation is a little bit different this time because of this chart here. So as we see in the blue, these are home prices that have been steadily increasing, but it's the inventory that makes it very different. The inventory is very low right now, as anyone who's looking to buy a house knows that there is not much inventory, and that's what's driving up the prices because the demand is high, inventory is low, so that increases the price, just like any other thing in the market. One other topic that's been very much discussed is the forbearances, and that the time frame is coming up for people to be coming out of forbearance. So forbearance is an agreement you make with your mortgage company that you don't have to make your mortgage payment for a certain amount of time, and that it won't affect your credit, it won't affect your standing with the bank. It's just kind of an insurance policy of I'm not sure what's going to happen, and can I not pay my payment if I don't have to. So as we see back in the beginning of the pandemic, there was a lot of people who were using this forbearance. It's been pretty steady, the blue there, recently, and this is something that we have to remember, that there's always a lot of people, not a lot, but there's always people who are using this forbearance for any number of reasons. So it's not just a pandemic thing. There are definitely people who need this always, no matter what the economy. The big difference, though, here is what's happening with the people who were in forbearance. So that half of the circle there in green, those are people who are coming out of forbearance completely paid in full. So some people have made their payments even though they didn't have to. They still made their payments anyway. Some people, 7.5% of people paid their loan off altogether. And then some people were able to make their payments at the end and come out of forbearance. So half of the people have come out of forbearance like they didn't even do it at all together. So the 33% that are in blue are working on a payment plan. So you can come out of forbearance and you can pick up kind of where you left off, and the payments that you didn't make for that period of time will be added towards the end of your loan. They'll just be maybe 6 or 9 months at the end of the loan, and that nothing had changed. And then 7.7 people are still working out something. So the 15.3% of people are people who don't have a good plan to come out of forbearance. So they're trying to still come up with a plan with a mortgage company, or they're not going to be able to make the payments, and then something else will have to happen. But the positive news for these people is the loan to value is significantly different than it was back in 5, 6, 7. So the problem back then is people were upside down on their homes, meaning that they owed a lot more on their home than the home was actually worth. And as we saw before, that is definitely not the case at this point. So that big tall green, the 41%, those are people who have at least 60% more equity than what their loan is, and then it decreases to that. So there's only 1% who are 100% maxed out on their loan to values, that their house is worth exactly what they owe. So the positive for these people is that if they don't think they're going to be able to come out of forbearance and make their mortgage payment, then they have loan to value, they have equity built up in their home. So these people are people who might be able to put their house on the market, and they might be able to sell their home and come up with a new plan.
So I hope that was helpful. It was definitely a high-level overview. I'm certainly not an accountant or a banker, but from what I've learned, and I've been listening to different podcasts and trying to learn a little bit about what's going on, because we want to be well-informed knowing that this is going to be something that people are going to be talking about more. Certainly, I do have people that I know in the market, in the mortgage business, and lawyers. So certainly, if there is somebody who needs more information or needs to talk to somebody, I'd be happy to make a referral. If you want to just talk a little bit more about the market itself, please reach out. I try to know what's going on in Tiverton and Little Compton in particular, but all of Rhode Island and Massachusetts too. I've recently got my Massachusetts license, so I'm learning more and more about the Westport area in particular. So I hope you have a great day, and I'm looking forward to hearing from some of you soon.